let's start with our first news. Now we move on to footage of Khamzat training ahead of his fight with Sean Strickland, and it looks like he could be studying Jon Jones. The Jackson podcast recently posted a video of Khamzat working with Khalil Rountree Jr., and the clip shows some fascinating techniques in action. In the video, Khamzat can be seen throwing a spinning elbow off a single leg feint, a move that has been made famous by Jon Jones. It's clear he's looking to expand his arsenal and add more unpredictability to his game. Khamzat has come down to Jackson Studios to train, and the atmosphere is incredible. He's known as a quiet guy, someone who doesn't usually welcome outsiders into his training sessions. He keeps to himself, focuses hard, and lets his work speak for him. But in this session, Khalil Rountree gets a chance to learn from Khamzat, while Khamzat also benefits from Khalil's experience. Wow, there's a real sense of community being built here, with fighters exchanging knowledge, pushing each other, and creating an environment where everyone grows. It's inspiring to see such a dynamic setup in a gym known for producing some of the best fighters in the world. The intensity of the session is remarkable. There's even a clip of Khamzat literally swinging Khalil around, which is even more impressive when you realize Khalil fights at 205 pounds, a higher weight class than Khamzat. Despite the size difference, Khamzat shows both skill and control, proving that his technique and timing are just as dangerous as his power. The way he combines striking and wrestling here demonstrates how far he's come and how much he's willing to adapt his game. Watching Khamzat throw that spinning elbow off a single leg fake is a reminder of why he's such a threat in the octagon. He's not just learning moves for show, he's incorporating them into his style in a way that could completely surprise his next opponent. It's exciting to witness him evolve, taking inspiration from legends like Jon Jones while maintaining his own unique approach. This kind of training, with focus, intensity, and collaboration, is exactly what builds champions. The session captures the essence of Khamzat's growth, his willingness to push boundaries, and the way he elevates everyone around him. It's more than just drills. It's strategy, adaptation, and sheer determination on display. Watching him in action here is a glimpse into what makes him one of the most exciting fighters in the sport today. Move on to another news. Tensions between Dana White and Eddie Hearn have never been higher, and while Hearn has repeatedly insisted he's going to get Tom Aspinall paid what he's worth, many are concerned the heavyweight champion is being US'd. As we covered before, Hearn and Dana were once on friendly terms, but everything changed when Dana and TKO launched Zuva Boxing. Since then, things went south, and now that Hearn announced he's managing Aspinall, he's been openly criticizing Tom's UFC contract for low pay, as well as the company's business model. In a recent conversation with Helen Ye, Chale Sutton shared his thoughts on Aspinall's situation and whether he might return to the UFC. He recalled Tom saying, "I'm the active champion. I don't care about Jon Jones. I just care about the belt. If you can't get in the ring, take the belt off him and give it to me." At the time, everyone supported Tom because he was completely correct. But now, a year later, it appears Tom is holding out, taking time to review contracts, which is understandable. Chale emphasized that this is just the nature of the business, but his concern is that Tom is being used in a public fight between Eddie Hearn and Dana White. Chale explained that if you want to make money in this sport, the commodity is the fight. That's how the UFC has always done business. Sitting out and making demands isn't the Tom Aspinall we saw a year ago. Supporters note that Tom hasn't been offered his next fight due to recovering from eye surgeries, but under the UFC contract, he's supposed to receive at least 3 fights per year, or the company must pay him regardless. If that's accurate, the UFC has already made offers, but Tom hasn't accepted yet. The situation becomes even more interesting considering Tom agreed to have Hearn represent him while Eddie and Dana have beef. Aspinall made it clear he wasn't happy with how the UFC treated him after the eye pokes at UFC 321, so this decision carries extra weight. Chale's comments highlight the fine line between protecting a fighter's interests and being used as a pawn in business rivalries. The whole scenario shows just how much behind-the-scenes politics can affect even the biggest names in the sport, and it underscores the challenges champions face when navigating contracts, management, and personal recovery while trying to maintain their focus and competitive edge. Move on to another news. Following RIAF 7, both Arman and Colby, who picked up wins over their opponents, ended up on stage together at the post-fight press conference. Arman called Colby for a matchup at RAF after his victory, and Colby agreed it would be an entertaining fight. The two also got into a back and forth about training history. Colby insisted they had trained together back in the day and that he beat Arman, but Arman denied ever training with Colby or being beaten by anyone at American Top Team. The exchange was intense and full of energy. Colby said, "I loved it, man. It's a great angle, a great storyline. We did train together at one point. Maybe he misunderstood." Arman shot back, insisting, "No, it was definitely you, bro. Come on, you know it was you." Colby laughed it off, saying he had seen Arman in the gym, but they never wrestled. Arman kept his stance. "No, we never wrestled. Nobody beat me at the AT, especially you." Their back and forth showed both fighters confident and unwilling to give an inch, each defending their reputation and achievements in front of the crowd. Arman went on to explain that Colby has a UFC fight coming up, but he still plans on wrestling in RAF either next month or in May. Once Colby finishes his UFC obligations, they can start planning their matchup. Arman also called out Colby for being unhealthy, drinking beer, and partying on the beach instead of taking these matches seriously. He made it clear that Colby is not like Dillon Danis and emphasized, "I'm a legit wrestler. You have to keep training. If you keep doing the same thing, you're going to lose to me." Arman highlighted that Colby is scheduled as a backup for UFC's Ilya versus Justin fight, but he remains active and ready for RAF. He warned Colby that letting distractions like partying and skipping training get in the way will only put him at a disadvantage. Arman's confidence and intensity were clear, showing he is ready for a real wrestling match and determined to dominate. The tension between Arman and Colby continues to build, with both fighters staking their claims and defending their past achievements. Their exchanges on stage were a mix of sharp words, playful arguments, and serious warnings about who is truly prepared to compete. This showdown promises to bring high energy, competitive spirit, and some serious wrestling action when they eventually face off in RAF. Move on to another news. Dana went off on fans criticizing the UFC for using AI in promo videos, and his reaction was intense. He started by addressing the chatter online, noting that he had seen a lot of fans and viewers commenting about AI-generated content appearing more in broadcasts than in previous iterations of the UFC. Questions were raised about whether this was part of the new Paramount deal or just a new direction for the UFC, and Dana didn't hold back in his response. He asked, "What does that mean, AI stuff? Commercials, part of the promotional content, AI in the UFC in general?" He explained that he had seen fans complaining that the UFC should be paying artists instead of using generative AI. Dana didn't mince words when responding to that criticism. He said, "Give me a break. AI is coming, and if we're using AI, who gives a? People are upset about it. We should use artists. How about this? Shut the up and watch the fights." Dana emphasized that the UFC is constantly evolving, and using new technology like AI is just part of keeping the content fresh, dynamic, and exciting for fans. He stressed that the focus should always be on the action inside the octagon, rather than the promotional materials or tools used behind the scenes. For him, the fights themselves are what matter, and fans should prioritize watching the competition instead of getting caught up in the technicalities of production methods. He acknowledged that some fans have strong opinions about supporting artists and traditional methods, but his point was clear. The UFC will adapt and innovate, and AI is simply a part of that process. Dana's message was both direct and unapologetic, reinforcing that the sport and the fighters are the main attraction. Using AI doesn't take away from the athleticism, the excitement, or the skill on display. It's just another tool to enhance the overall product. Throughout his remarks, Dana's energy and conviction were evident. He defended the UFC's decisions, emphasizing that fans who are too focused on AI or promotional methods are missing the point. The ultimate goal is to deliver top-tier fights, showcase the best athletes in the world, and continue evolving the sport for a global audience. For Dana, innovation, technology, and entertainment go hand in hand, but nothing replaces the raw intensity and thrill of the fight. He made it clear that the UFC will continue to move forward boldly, and fans need to focus on what truly matters, watching the action and appreciating the talent in the octagon. Move on to another news. Colby and Khamzat have been getting heated following the RAF back and forth with Arman. Colby said a potential wrestling matchup with Khamzat would generate massive buzz. He reminded fans that they were supposed to fight in the UFC years ago, but now that Khamzat has moved up in weight class, they could still make it happen on the real American freestyle mat. Colby also expressed frustration that the UFC isn't giving him the high-profile fights he wants and believes he deserves. He plans to sit down with Hunter Campbell when the UFC comes to Miami in a few weeks for a direct talk about his future, arguing they should allow him to take big wrestling matchups if the promotion can't deliver the fights he's asking for. Colby called out Khamzat, saying, I want to wrestle against Tsarukyan. That's a guy I used to beat up on all the time at AT. He was a little understudy who came to train just because he wanted to get beat up by me in the gym. That's someone I want to expose to the world and beat his ass on the RAF mats. I really want to go up against Khamzat. I wanted to fight him a couple years ago, but now he's at a different weight class. I would love to wrestle against Khamzat in RAF. I think it'd be a highly entertaining match. The press conference would be fire. Khamzat fired back strongly after the latest round of callouts. In a recent Russian interview with Obzor Express, Khamzat made it very clear that he is down to wrestle Colby at the next real American freestyle event. He showed zero respect for Colby's wrestling background, claiming he could easily smash him and that Colby is too small to pose any real threat on the mat. This fiery response comes while Khamzat is deep in training camp for his first middleweight title defense against Sean Strickland at UFC 328 in May, making it very unlikely he will participate in any other sporting event before then. Still, the potential wrestling matchup between Khamzat and Colby continues to gain momentum among fans, with many expecting to see the two finally collide on the RAF mat after UFC 328. The bad blood between them has been building for a while, and if this wrestling bout happens, it would be one of the most anticipated non-UFC matchups of the year. Khamzat responded to Colby's callout by saying, "Colby is a clown. He is a stupid American boy, just like the rest of them. I can wrestle with him anytime. It's easy work for me. Let's wrestle at the next RAF event. I will take his heart out. He'd need to call the cops on me. How are you going to use your cardio? How are you going to take me down? He's too little. It's an easy fight for me, no matter if it's in the octagon or in wrestling. On the next RAF, I will make him humble again. Let's go." Move on to another news. Alvarez and Yaroslav Amosov have been added to the May 9th UFC 328 card, creating an exciting matchup for fight fans. Amosov will be competing for the second time in the promotion, making his follow-up appearance after taking on Neil Magny in his Octagon debut back in December. Alvarez, on the other hand, comes off a decision win over Vicente Luque in October, which extended his winning streak to 4. Notably, the last fighter to defeat Alvarez was Arman back in February 2022, adding context to his recent performances and showing the challenges he's overcome since that loss. Next, we have news from Marcel Dorf, who recently shared on X that light heavyweights Tukko Tokosh and Ivan Erslan will face off at the UFC's May 16th Fight Night card in Las Vegas. Tokosh hasn't fought since last June, when he submitted Junior Tafa, and currently holds a UFC record of 1-2, with losses coming against Umar Sy and Navajo Sterling. Erslan, meanwhile, finds himself in a must-win situation after losing 3 straight fights. His last outing, which was in September, ended in a submission loss to Jimmy Carew. This matchup will be pivotal for both fighters, as it could define the trajectory of their UFC careers moving forward. In other news, Jordan Levitt has confirmed his next fight, with details now emerging on who and when he will compete. Agite recently reported that Levitt will take on Joe Anderson Tubar Breto at the UFC's May 16th Vegas card. Levitt last fought in February, securing a unanimous decision win over Yadia Delva. Over his last 5 fights, Levitt has gone 3-2, demonstrating both resilience and competitiveness in the lightweight division. Finally, Roberto recently competed in December, where he snapped a 2-fight losing streak by winning a unanimous decision over Isaac Thompson. That victory marked an important turnaround in his career, showing his ability to recover from setbacks and remain a threat in his weight class. These announcements bring a stacked UFC schedule for May, with several fighters looking to solidify their standing, bounce back from losses, or extend impressive streaks. Fans can expect intense matchups, thrilling finishes, and strategic battles as the promotion continues to deliver top-level MMA action. Move on to another news. Arman recently revealed in an interview with the Schmo that he will fight for a belt this summer. whether it's the BMF title or a real championship belt. He emphasized that he is ready to step in as a backup fighter for the Ilya versus Justin bout in case anything happens, showing his commitment to staying active and prepared. At the same time, Arman traded shots with Colby again, responding to Colby's recent comments accusing him of not training seriously and being lazy. Arman made it very clear that he is fully locked in and prepared, putting him in a strong position heading into the summer. While an undisputed UFC belt shot this summer is unlikely with Ilya and Justin scheduled to fight in June, a BMF showdown makes complete sense. A rematch with Charles Oliva, the current BMF champion, fits perfectly with the division's current state. Arman has been vocal about wanting big fights, and it seems he is determined to force his way into title contention very soon. A potential win over Charles would make it impossible for the UFC to delay his title shot any longer. In the interview, Arman announced his plans clearly, saying, this summer, I'll fight this for sure. This summer for the belt. Any belt. It's a BMF. It's a real belt. He also reiterated that he will stay ready as a backup fighter, saying, I'm going to be ready if something happens, and I'm going to stay active. Maybe I'll do RAF next month, or maybe in May. We'll see when it's ready. Arman addressed criticisms from Colby, emphasizing, I'm not a bodybuilder influencer. I'm a legit wrestler and a 4-time challenger in the UFC. You've got to keep training. If you keep doing the same thing, you're going to lose to me. I want to have a real wrestling match. So keep training. Keep training. His remarks reinforced his confidence, professionalism, and focus on staying at the top of his game. With his plans now public, fans can expect Arman to push aggressively for high-profile matchups this summer. Whether it's stepping in as a backup for Ilya versus Justin, competing in RAF, or fighting for the BMF belt, Arman is making it clear that he is ready, motivated, and determined to claim another championship and prove his dominance in the division. His dedication and willingness to fight any challenge highlight why he remains one of the most exciting and committed athletes in the UFC today.